Hello everybody and welcome to today's reading. So the one from yesterday was actually recorded the day before, but it took so long to upload. So I just waited an additional day before I started this one. But we have some pretty intense energy coming through today, especially for the divine masculines, which the feminines are mirroring. There is a really strong sense of overwhelm. There is a strong sense of intensity coming through in terms of twin flame, true twin flame relationships, where certain divine masculines in the collective are feeling like they have to put this mask on and kind of stuff their feelings because they don't know what to do with what they're feeling. And this is especially true for those who are really close to their reunion in this window. So there are many who will actually be hearing from their twin flame if they haven't already, just for the sake of reconciliation. I feel like offers and even marriage will come like so soon after. It's going to be shocking. Like you didn't expect it to happen this quickly. Because they didn't initially come forth with an offer along with reconciliation. So you were kind of thinking, okay, things are going to be going slow, we're going to take it one step at a time, and the next thing you know, there is a whole like the plethora of commitments that your divine counterpart is wanting to make with you. So I wanted to look into that energy and just kind of see what else comes out here. What else do we need to know? I spent a couple of days airing my Tarot Illuminati deck out. This is newer. I got it like a couple days ago, but if you watched my previous video, you know that these cards were like sticking to one another and they wouldn't shuffle well. So they seem to be doing a whole lot better now. I'm going to try using it. But if it's still, too sticky or too stuck, then I'll just switch over to my Witch's Tarot. So I pulled it out just in case, but hopefully this will do. This deck is absolutely beautiful. It's gilded. It's amazing. And it's got suits in there that we haven't seen in the traditional tarot before. And this will be my first time using it. So we'll just see what comes through here as I'm shuffling this deck. Feel free to set your intentions for this reading, either in your mind, out loud, or in the comments. And let's see here. Why am I not surprised, you guys? Look at these cards that came out here. The Six of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So as you heard me say before we even started shuffling, there is communication coming in. People are going to be hearing from their divine counterparts here really, really soon if they haven't already. And the Six of Cups here is telling me that if you haven't already heard from your divine counterpart, you're going to be so pleasantly surprised when they come back into the picture, because they will have this knowledge that they will tell you they feel they have a soul connection with you. Like what Spirit is saying to me right now, I'm actually hearing, my soul is connected to you, like you are a part of me. So this is what the divine masculines are feeling, which is why they are coming in with I heard Spirit say royal communication. I'm not too sure what that means, but my attempt at guessing what that means is that, they're going to really, really plan this out elaborately. For some, I'm really seeing like, a song being written for them. I'm seeing serenading. I'm seeing, a beautiful surprise date night. I'm seeing flowers and presents. I'm seeing so many beautiful things. And all of this is going to come in after this tower moment that this divine masculine is currently being set up for, and for some possibly actively undergoing at this time. So this tower moment is really meant for them to be able to pull their head out of the sand in a sense to see what they need to do, because they've been procrastinating too much. They've been standing in their own way, chopping themselves at their own knee by not taking the action that they know they need to take, and either making excuses or putting it off because of fear. So definitely have empathy, because this is stemming from fear. It's not just a bad habit or trait that they have that might seem toxic or that might seem bad. This is definitely stemming from an internal excuse me, imbalance that they are experiencing. So this tower moment is actually setting them up to clear their path forward so that they can have this beautiful communication and reunion with you. And by the way, let me know in the comments what you think of this deck. I really, really like this artwork. It's so unique and it's so inclusive. You see so many different cultures in here, so many, different settings in different countries. It's really cool. So yeah, many of these divine masculines are actually still having so many sleepless nights. They're having a lot of anxiety, and this is part of what will lead them into this tower moment, because they're going to hit a flashpoint here. Like I just heard Spirit say flashpoint, and this is exactly what this is geared towards, where they know they need a change, but they don't really know how to do it because, just like I said earlier, they feel out of balance. So this tower moment is actually helping them regain their balance. And look at the rainbow in the back of this picture. This is really significant here, especially the blue and indigo colors, where their chakra systems, especially their crown chakra and their throat chakra, are really being targeted here to be cleared and opened, to be uprooted of any blockages that are keeping them stuck in these loops, these karmic loops and patterns that they're fighting to get free of, but really don't know how. There's a lot that is still unknown here that is to be revealed, and for many, you probably won't be able to see every step of your counterpart's journey, because it's to secure you emotionally, so you don't get traumatized right along with them. And this is part of the reason why this 3D separation occurs, because when you care so deeply about someone, and especially when there is a bond at a soul level where you are already always exchanging energy and kind of tapped into each other, mirroring each other, there's a reason why you're not able to see every step of their awakening and ego death journey, because it really can be traumatizing to see that. The Judgment card came out here. So yeah, as karmic ties are being cleared, karma is being cleared here. There can be a lot of internal turmoil. There could be chaotic external circumstances for some twin flames in the collective. The divine masculines may have children or may be about to have children with others. And of course, this is going to be a really chaotic uprooting, because in the midst of almost starting another family, they're being guided to a different counterpart. They're being guided to their divine counterpart and realizing that this karmic partner that they are having a child with is not the one who they desire or are meant to be with. So of course, this is going to be traumatic for everyone involved. So there's a reason why you are not quite able to see all of this, because just knowing that in itself is difficult enough. And I don't want anyone to panic here. If you don't know of your divine masculine having any children or being with anybody else, that does not mean that they necessarily are, because what I'm intuitively picking up as I'm channeling this energy is that those who will resonate with it already know this about their counterpart. It's not a surprise. So there are many just like I said, karmic loops, toxic patterns that the divine masculines unwillingly are still tied up in. And unwillingly is really an ironic word to use here, because the divine masculine is really only being held back in his own mind by his own mind. So there's really, there's very minimal things for most. And this does not include those who have children on the way, because of course those are very real binding things. But for those who don't have children on the way, this is all in their mind. This is toxic patterns, behavioral patterns, habits that have been accumulated and learned over the years that these tower moments are on conditioning them out of. So just keep yourself grounded, divine feminine, is what I'm really being guided to tell you here, because as you mirror your counterpart's energy, as you channel their energy through yourself, you are going to feel a lot of what they're going through, and they're not going to be pleasant emotions. Ends of cycles are not always easy. And this is exactly what the divine masculine is going through, in that you are being guided to stay in your Queen of Cups power here, but this is the Princess of Cups, which is kind of where you're at right now. Think of this in terms of the page versus the king, right? Or page versus knight versus king. Over here, you are in your princess power. You are being guided to step up fully into your queen potential. So the Princess of Cups is, is still in the process of kind of clearing her heart chakra. There may be a little bit of emotional naivete or immaturity still remaining. As the heart chakra clears, especially notice all the green here, the green for the heart chakra center. As it clears, you kind of step into a deeper level of emotional maturity, understanding, and empathy for yourself and your counterpart. And you kind of learn how to protect your emotions better. So I really do feel like this is also an evolution that divine feminines who may be resonating with this reading will be going through. But look at this, you guys, the 10 of Pentacles. This is like the 10 of Cups with a cherry on top, because this is your happily ever after plus financial stability. So if things are taking time, that's because there's a lot going on in the background. That's because there is so much evolution, so much transformation going on, and sometimes you have to make a mess to clean up a mess, right? So while your divine masculine is kind of being made into a bigger mess before his mess is cleaned up, you are being protected by the universe, from having to see that. Look at that. I just said the Queen of Cups, right? And bam, look what came out. Queen of Cups. Yes, this is what you beautiful divine feminine are evolving into. So do be gentle with yourself in this process. You are bound to kind of have flashbacks of all the heartbreak. It's going to be really hard some days, as it of course has been throughout this time, but there are many in the collective who must feel like they have ascended beyond having heartache over this separation. But do expect to be triggered over these next few weeks, possibly like until the end of this month, which is not too far. Today is the 23rd of April. So yeah, about the next 2 weeks-ish might be quite triggering for you, but as they say, the darkest hour is just before dawn. Look at that, these stormy seas are just kind of settling down now. The sky still looks stormy, but there's a beautiful moonlight shining through, and morning is on the horizon. So just be mindful of that. Remember to keep yourself grounded, and just know that your divine masculine really is very passionate about you, about your connection, and he's really trying to make his way forward the best that he knows how. He does not have all the internal tools yet, but that is being worked on. 5 of Wands, just like I said, triggering, right? Emotional battles within yourself. You might be reminded of past hurts with your divine masculine. You might feel some of that residual resentment within you still subconsciously. It might arise for you to the conscious level again, and you thought you'd gotten past that. It is absolutely normal and human to kind of revisit those emotions again so that you can uproot them from the core and be completely at peace by the time your reunion hits. The universe wants you to be happy with your counterpart. You know, it's all part of how you are manifesting your reunion. If you want a beautiful, harmonious reunion, then these are all the things that have to happen in the background in order for that reunion to look like that for you, if that makes sense. Yep. Six of Wands, you guys, the Victory card. Victory is yours. Sometimes things feel the most difficult right before everything gets better, right before you win. So Spirit's guidance here is to stay strong, hang in there. Really, really don't worry about these things, because what you have coming towards you, you know you are manifesting it, right? It's kind of like ordering something on Amazon. You know you've put the order out there. You're not quite sure exactly when you're going to get it, but you know that it's coming, and it's going to come relatively quickly. So that's what's happening here. And that's what this Four of Cups is actually speaking to, is that, you know, this hand holding the cup in the background is the universe bringing you what you've been manifesting. And you are kind of in a lamenting, despondent state over here, just kind of looking at these three empty cups. You know, missed opportunities may be going through your mind, especially for the divine masculines. You might be thinking, gosh, I so regret not making different choices at the right time, you know, the right choices at the right time. You've learned a lot of deep soul lessons over the course of this time, but of course it has been difficult. Nobody can, you know, negate that. But at the same time, there's something coming here that you've been wishing for, that you've been manifesting, that you've spent numerous sleepless and anxious nights over. And it's literally, I heard Spirit say, right around the corner. So your abundance, your blessings are literally right around the corner. Don't give up. Beautiful divine feminine, it won't be long before you experience growth in a lot of ways. I'm seeing pregnancy here. I'm seeing fertility. So for many of you, this could be really literal. It could be that after a reunion with your divine counterpart, you could be welcoming a new family member. But at the same time, this to me says that you and your divine counterpart will be working on some sort of project, some sort of something together that is creative, that is fertile, and that is going to help you on your soul mission together as a couple, as twin flames on this planet. So many beautiful things are coming. Just keep the faith. There's been a lot of, you know, regret in the past. There's a lot of feelings of shame around here. Even the divine feminines, I do feel like, must be going through some sort of shame within themselves, that, you know, just based on the way that things turned out in the past with their divine masculine. You know, this is a hyper specific message coming through here, so this may not resonate for everybody, but definitely let me know if it resonates for you. I am picking up on a divine feminine energy that possibly met her divine masculine at work, or they worked together in some capacity, and the divine feminine was just so in love with this masculine that she didn't hesitate to really let anybody know how she was feeling. And this was even more so encouraged because she was privy to the fact that this divine masculine also had the same feelings for her. However, the masculine was kind of wearing a pride and ego-based mask in that time. And although at, in certain intervals he may have admitted to his feelings, I'm getting to like maybe close friends that also worked with him. But in the end, he had gone a different direction in the past. And this really left the divine feminine feeling truly humiliated, because she really made it known that, her feelings for this masculine were strong. Everybody was aware of it. And just because of the way that things had turned out, she's feeling a lot of humiliation and shame. And I'm also feeling that the masculine mirrors that energy, because as he looks back on how things went down, he's feeling that same shame within himself. And this is something that the masculine is really not able to get over. This feeling, as I'm tapping into this energy deeper, it feels like the feminine has mostly gotten over as far as her day-to-day life is concerned, but it does trigger her from time to time, and it does affect her kind of, when she has some downtime and her mind wanders and that comes up for her. She definitely is still affected by it, but she's able to kind of get through her day-to-day life without thinking too much about that. However, that's not the case for the divine masculine. I'm hearing spirit say that, no matter where he is, no matter what he's doing, he's a pile of guilt and a pile of shame for what he did and the way things went down. And he just, I heard, doesn't have face. So this divine masculine may feel like he doesn't have the ability, or he doesn't know how to face the divine feminine after everything that went on. Like, he doesn't feel like he could face her, is what I'm getting. So there are heavy, heavy feelings of guilt and shame that are really burdening this masculine for sure. But this is part of his growth. This is part of his soul growth here. This is all part of the soul lesson that he had to learn in order to mature and become the man that this divine feminine deserves to have as a partner, and to become a man that this divine masculine can be proud of. It was all a part of gaining more maturity. It was all a part of his growth process. And as I said that, I see 2211 on my recording timer. So 222 and 11, or 1111. Major numbers of alignment, manifestation, and of course 1111 being the twin flame number. This is major confirmation of the fact that this masculine has grown, that he continues to grow. And the masculine that this feminine will see after such a long time apart is going to be someone that she really feels like she can be proud of too. We have the Prince of Swords here. So again, fast moving communication energy. I really do feel like there is some form of a celebration for reconciliation coming in for so many of you, literally right around the corner. So there is definitely an urgent need, an urgent desire for communication from both parties, and it's on its way. I heard almost home. So you and your counterpart are definitely almost home, back to each other. And look at that, guys, 9 of Pentacles. This is where you are right now. You're literally 1 pentacle away from your happily ever after, plus financial stability, just like we saw. So this is the current energy where you're both kind of learning how to step into your own power. And even as the masculine is kind of in denial about what he needs to do, or he tries to be in denial about what he needs to do, but I don't feel like that's going to work much longer here. We have the Ace of Pentacles, so many, many new beginnings, a lot of stability coming in, even emotionally, that was really lacking before. Like I said, end of cycles, walking away from those karmic loops and bonds for good, like finally leaving them behind, because there's nowhere else to go but forward. And the 3 of Pentacles, your hard work. You're going to have hard work to show your divine counterpart that you can be proud of. Energy at the bottom of the deck, you guys, wish fulfillment. So synchronistic. Very, very synchronistic. Ooh, too many cards. We have the Ten of Wands, yes. So the feelings, the burdens are actually, look at this, you guys. It's off of this masculine's back now. It's just something that he's trying to carry forward with him. Do you see that? He kind of has his arms wrapped around these wands and he's trying to push forward, but it's really, really difficult with so many of them. But the thing is, the burden isn't on his back anymore. It's in front of him. He knows that what he's trying to hang on to is a burden. So what the universe is going to do with its Tower moment is knock those wands right out of his hand. It's showing him that he can't move forward with those. This is a realization, or it's something that the masculine is cognizant of, but he hasn't necessarily had the full realization of that yet. So this Tower moment is really meant for giving him that realization. The Seven of Cups. So as this masculine is trying so hard to push forward with these unbearable burdens, he is constantly daydreaming and fantasizing about his future with the feminine. Constant daydreaming, constant fantasizing, constantly having his divine counterpart on his mind, to where he's... What I'm getting here is that there are certain masculines in the collective. This may not resonate for everybody, but there's definitely some masculines who are actually seeing and visualizing union in the 3D, in the 5D. They are having very vivid dreams of meeting their divine counterpart in the physical again. And so their dreams are kind of more of what's pushing them toward this new emperor mode that they're supposed to be stepping into. We have the Princess of Swords here. We also have a divine feminine. Now this is also a very hyper-specific message, so use your intuition to know which ones are for you and which ones are for others. As I always say, if you like my videos and are subscribed to my channel, I can pick up on your energy more clearly and channel these hyper-specific messages. So this is where this is coming from, okay? So this Princess of Swords, I heard guiding you back home. So there's some platform of social media that this divine feminine is using to put, I want to say, like subliminal posts up, you know, that are indirect but kind of direct to her masculine. And what I'm getting here is that these two may not be connected on social media. So it could be like either a public Instagram account or it could be a public Facebook account where this divine feminine is putting up posts that will, or that she hopes will help her divine masculine move toward her, move forward toward her. They could be like, I don't know, I'm getting like motivational quotes. It could be like emotional posts about, you know, don't worry about how I'm going to react to you, but this is what you need to do. You know, like kind of, it's hard to put into words what I'm getting here, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So there is a divine feminine who's kind of posting along these lines on some platform of public social media that she knows her masculine is watching her on. There is a strong sense of watching this feminine from a distance. So this is what I'm getting that she's doing in hopes that he will communicate. So she is actually already kind of begun communicating with him indirectly in that sense, just by putting up posts that she knows he will read, even though they're not connected on that platform. And this is all done in hopes of this reconciliation that both parties are really, really longing for. But this is really on its way. This is really on its way. They both don't quite see it yet. It's like, you know, they're kind of walking through this dark tunnel and they've kind of, they're kind of feeling their way through it with their hands on the sides of the walls, and hoping they don't like trip up on anything. But that's on its way. Right now, there is a sense of uncertainty and anxiety. There can be, you know, some racing thoughts. I'm also getting impulsive behaviors. So for some in the collective, they may try to like either de-escalate themselves or, you know, reroute their thoughts by purchasing things. I'm getting like retail therapy. So there could be some who are just kind of impulsively buying things just to have some satisfaction of something coming their way because of, you know, the fact that this disconnect from their divine counterpart is really getting to them, and they just need something to kind of fulfill them in the moment. So they're looking for these temporary fulfillments through purchases is kind of what I'm getting here. But the divine masculine is really just working on financial stability. I heard investments. So he could be like really putting money aside in order to either like get a home. For some reason, a home is really standing out here. So maybe this divine masculine doesn't live on his own quite yet. Maybe he, you know, he's still living with a karmic third party, but he can't afford a place on his own yet. So he's putting money aside for that. Financial stability is really on this masculine's mind, but it is on his mind for the sake of being able to offer that to his feminine. For the sake of wish fulfillment here. Look at that, guys, the 9 of Cups. Such a beautiful outcome, such a positive card. So this is really what is on the masculine's mind is, as soon as I get financially stable, I'm going to be able to offer my feminine what she deserves. I'm going to be able to offer her a stable, committed relationship where we could both live together. Like, living together is really important to this masculine whose energy I'm tapping into. So he wants to make sure that he secures a place for himself and his divine feminine to live a life together, to really have a routine together, to establish a life and family together. So that is why financial stability is really, really standing out here. That's what I feel. I'm gonna see if I could get some final cards here. If not, that's also a pretty decent place to close out because those are some pretty clear messages coming through. So, okay, the divine feminine also seems to be on the same page with the divine masculine, where she is also working on some form of financial stability. You know, maybe she is pretty okay where she's at right now, but she's not fully where she wants to be because she knows the kind of lifestyle that she would like to have. And she knows the level of independence that she would like to have. So she, as well as the masculine, are both kind of focused on finances right now. And here we have the King of Swords. So the divine masculine is really trying to step up into a more mature role for this feminine. I heard better communication. So this divine masculine is really working on being able to communicate more clearly, more maturely, and in a way that is more emotionally vulnerable. The King of Swords is typically a very guarded person, you know, someone who doesn't let people in and who doesn't open up emotionally at all. So that is, you know, a thing here that this divine masculine is definitely working on. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands. So he's really, you know, kind of looking out onto this new horizon, and he's thinking more in terms of baby steps now that he could take towards his goal. He's not looking out at the entire ocean, you know, at the shore at the other end of it anymore like he used to. He's kind of taking a step back and saying, okay, I know that other shore is where I want to get to, but I need to be able to do something now in order to start moving in that direction. So he's kind of pulled back the long-term thinking, and he's rerouting it to, you know, setting short-term goals for himself so that he can actually take a step forward. So that is really beautiful energy, you guys. I'm going to close the reading out right there. I will channel some love messages from the masculine to the feminine and vice versa. I am using my new Mercury Nostalgia deck, which really seems fitting for the energy that I'm feeling today, because nostalgic energy has really been prominent in the collective lately, but especially today, it feels like there's a lot of reminiscing going on. So if massages were a thing for you and your connection, maybe your counterpart gave you massages or you massaged them, that's something that they're thinking about. And they're realizing that they can never really stop loving you, that they've tried it, it's failed. They're not even going to try that anymore because it's just not working. I miss you. Yes, definitely. Just as I said, a lot of reminiscing going on here. A lot of, going over in the mind of old conversations that were had, things that were said that, were joyful moments shared. So that's some really nice energy. Now for the divine feminine message to the masculine from her higher self. Here. We'll take the number 16 card, from nothing to everything. The number 666 also has to do with stability as far as angel numbers are concerned. So that is a very synchronistic card to come out here. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. Rumi. Have you been shedding your skins, your layers, your certainties? Gone are fixed identities and definite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you are releasing too much, and then perhaps you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist as you have known yourself to be thus far. Another emanation of you awaits, blazing angel, something more beautiful and true. Yet here you are at the pruning stage, like a gardener for the soul. Shall the garden spring back to life, or will the enthusiastic denuding process be rather too much and unintentionally kill off the garden altogether? Fear not. Your soul is made of hardy stuff. It can handle a lot of culling and will shine even brighter for it. There is a greater story to be impressed upon your essence than the one you are currently dreaming up. Though you are brilliant, no doubt about it, my angel of love, there is one who is even more so. The imagination of this great writer is beyond our comprehension. The stories that pour forth from that cosmic poet in every moment are so rich they inspire the creation of art and music. One such story is especially created for you, yes you, with a starring role and all the best supporting cast. You shall gasp in wonder, awe, glee, and delight when you hear it. It is a great romance, a great adventure, with an ending truly spectacular and divine. Would you wish to hear it? Become attentive now. Put your own tales aside, as dramatic as they may seem right now, and prepare to be entranced by the greater storyteller, the living poet of love, as you are entranced in a tale of your unfolding divine destiny. That is so synchronistic with everything that we covered in today's reading about those tower moments and how they're shaping these counterparts into being the best versions of themselves, people that they can be proud of. This is absolutely beautiful energy, you guys. Absolutely amazing. And my deck worked. I'm so thrilled. I've been waiting to be able to use this deck, so that was awesome. Anyways, yeah, so that was all for today's reading. Thank you for joining me. I am also on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle in the video description box for anybody who might be new here. I would love to see you guys there as well. I run pretty much daily reading specials over there, so if you would like to experience a personal reading from me, that would be the place to purchase it. And my turnaround times for the specials that I run are within the day. So if you are, kind of in burning need of an answer to something, you have questions, you want a reading, that would be the place to find me. And I have also created a twin flame manifestation affirmations document that so many of you beautiful souls have already stopped by to purchase. It truly helps you get into alignment with reunion with your counterpart. It also helps you in other areas of life, such as abundance, self-concept, career, you name it. It is a pretty all-encompassing document, and so many have already seen actual results from it. Many people have actually manifested what it is that they were hoping for, and other people are really seeing major shifts in their alignment, in their thought process, that is allowing them to feel more stable in their daily lives as they work toward the manifestation of what it is that they desire. You can see the reviews of my clients right on my Instagram page on the highlight that's titled Affirmations when you stop by my profile. I highly encourage you to check those out. These affirmations have really helped a lot of people. They've been in use for almost a decade, so people love them. They were created by me personally. I also have personally used them to manifest into my life. So definitely check that out. Like I said, my Instagram handle will be in the video description box below. I do hope to see you guys there. If not, I will talk to you again in the next reading video. Have a beautiful weekend.